Hi Nick, nice to see you again. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
I understand you've been on holiday. Where was it you went again?
Yeah, I took the family to Spain for 10 days. We have a villa out there, so we try to get out at least once a year.
Oh, that's lovely. I do love it in Spain. Whereabouts in Spain did you go?
Not sure if you've heard of it, but it's a little village called Pinar de Campoverde. The closest town you may have heard of is Torrevieja, which is around 20 to 30 minutes away.
I know Torrevieja well. I spent many holidays there as a kid.
Oh really? It's about a 30-minute drive from the new Murcia airport and about a 10-minute drive to the beach.
And how old is your little boy? It's Harrison, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 2.5 now. He's growing so quickly. Each day he surprises me with something new that he's learned. And he's really into climbing. Onto the table, out of his cot, he's certainly keeping us active.
Oh, he sounds like a handful, but obviously in a good way.
Exactly. He doesn't like sand though, so we couldn't spend too much time at the beach, but he's a real water baby and loves running into the sea and into the waves. Did you know he took his first steps in the water last year? He was so pleased with himself, but then he refused to walk on dry land until at least 2 weeks later.
Oh, that's adorable. I have a daughter. She's just turned 3 and it's such a great age. Although sometimes it seems she's 3 going on 13. I think the term for that is three-nagers. Can't think why.
Yeah, I've heard about that stage. Can't say I'm looking forward to it too much, but Harrison's been a blessing so far, so hopefully we'll bypass that stage.
Well, okay. As you know, this is a performance review meeting. You successfully passed your 3-month probation back in November, I believe, last year, and have been with the company for 12 months now. So, as we explained at your induction, here at NetPorter we do annual reviews where we go through your performance for the year just gone and then have a discussion around what the next 12 months will bring. We'll set some new targets, go through any training needs and put together an action plan. Have you done anything similar with your previous employer?
Yes, we had annual appraisals there too. To be honest though, I don't see the point of them. They always feel like tick box exercises and nothing more. I would usually say my piece and my manager would assure me that things would change, but they never did.
Oh, well that's a shame. It sounds like your previous employer didn't really use the performance management system to its fullest potential. So I understand that would make anyone a bit disillusioned with the whole process. But the purpose of our development reviews isn't just to make sure you are hitting your targets. It's a chance to work together so that you see how your targets feed into the overall objectives of the company. No matter what your position, we all have a part to play in growing this business, and we want our employees to feel empowered in the knowledge that everything they do goes towards the success of this company. It's also a chance for us to listen to our employees and get their feedback. It's a two-way process. Your input into this review is just important as our feedback. So hopefully throughout this process I'll be able to change your outlook on them, as they really are useful in allowing us to help you achieve your potential.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the main aim of today is to review your performance over the last 12 months and look to set targets for the next 12. But as I mentioned earlier, it's really important that this is a two-way process. So I want to hear about what motivates you, where you see yourself in a year, and how you feel that your performance has been. So let's start there. Before we go into where we think your performance ranks, I'd like to hear a bit from you about how you think your first year at NetPorter has gone.
I really enjoyed working here. It's a demanding role, but I feel like I've given it 100% and have consistently exceeded the targets set for me. I really don't see this as just a job. I want to carve out a career here, progressing up the career ladder into more of a leadership role.
So what is it about your current role that you enjoy the most?
I'm quite results driven, so being able to meet targets set gives me a great sense of achievement. At my last job, the targets always seemed so unattainable and I found it quite demoralising. I also have quite a competitive nature, so I always try to outperform my previous month where I can.
That is a great attitude to have, and I can see by your KPIs that you have indeed exceeded your targets each month, which is great. I did notice though that in the last couple of months your performance has dropped off ever so slightly. Don't get me wrong, you're still exceeding your personal targets, but if you can imagine your performance is plotted on a graph, the curve was increasing steeper and steeper as you exceeded your targets by more and more. Then over the last couple of months it's just started to tail off. So I just wanted to get your opinion on why you think this is.
Well, my wife was made redundant a few months ago, and as she's been there for less than 2 years, she only received 1 month's notice and pay. We've both found it tough. I've tried not to bring the stress into work, but sometimes I guess it just gets on top of me.
Okay, I understand. Is everything okay now?
Thankfully, she has a new job, which she started last month. But while she was searching for work, I had to take some time off to care for our child while she went for interviews. I would have used holiday, but unfortunately I had used up all my allowance and really wasn't sure what to do.
Oh, okay, well that explains the absence. Your line manager did note in his review that you had taken 8 days of absence leave in total over the last 12 months, which is almost double the national average.
Has it really been 8 days? I'm really sorry, I'm not usually this bad. I think most of it's been pretty recent, which probably also explains my drop in performance. It's just that a childminder has let us down on a few occasions recently. With my wife starting a new role and being on probation, she really couldn't afford to take time off, so I had to care for our son.
Okay, I understand, and I'm glad to hear everything is okay now. I know how difficult arranging childcare is at the last minute, so if you do have any more issues, please don't hesitate to let us know. If we are aware of the reasons, then we will do our best to help out however we can, if that's all right.
That's nice to hear, thank you. I really appreciate how understanding you are, which is another reason why I see it's more of a career than just a job.
Okay, so here at NetPorter, we have created a wonderful high-performance culture and strive to be world-class. Our reputation is everything, and so we instill in all our employees this idea of being the best that they can be. On your performance data, we included a best-in-class benchmarking data so that you can see how you've done against where we want you to be. So currently, you are quite below the best in class, particularly on the inbound and outbound orders. If you were to look at just the last month, it does show that you're being closer to achieving it than looking at the year as a whole. There is definitely room for improvement. Is there anything else we can do to help you reach these targets?
I guess maybe once I've achieved my targets, I take the pedal off the gas, if you know what I mean. I don't mean to do it, but I've always worked better under pressure, providing the targets are attainable. Could we look at bringing up my personal targets in line with the best-in-class targets so I know what I need to do to prove myself?
I think that's a great idea. We can certainly do that. Is there anything else we can do to help?
I don't think so. So if I exceed these new targets, can I be considered for any team leader position that comes up?
Well, it would certainly help, as our team leaders should be role models and set an example for their team. If you can outperform the rest of your team, that would certainly help your case. However, being a team leader isn't just about being the highest performer. What else do you think you could do to show good team management skills?
I know the company does hold the occasional social or charity event. I haven't had the chance to go to one yet, again because of childcare arrangement issues, but maybe I could put my name forward to help out the next one. It would probably be a good chance to get to know my colleagues better on a personal level. I haven't really gelled with them so far. I feel a bit excluded from social events. Hopefully if I attend more of these events, I'll be able to bond with the team. I don't think they have a good impression of me, to be fair. One of my teammates put in a grievance about me being too aggressive towards her. It's all okay now, but I feel it has been a sour relationships with the rest of the team.
Do you feel that the grievance that she had with you was justified, and has it been resolved now?
It has been resolved. We get on fine now, or at least I think we do. Well, I don't think it was justified, not really. I mean, I know I can come across as aggressive sometimes, but once you get to know me, you realise I'm not like that. It's just how I come across.
Okay, I understand. But if you don't make the effort to get to know your teammates, such as going to these social events, and let them get to know you, do you see how the way that you come across could perhaps put a barrier between you and them?
Yes, I do get it. I guess if I really want to make team leader, then I should make more of an effort.
We do have an online leadership course that we could put you on. We usually put our newly appointed team leaders on this course, but as the course covers how to build rapport within a team in detail, I think you may benefit from it now rather than later. How would you feel about that?
That sounds great. I think I learned a lot from it.
And is there anything else you think that we could do?
I've always admired Stephen's leadership style, but I don't often get the chance to work with him. If it's okay, could I be scheduled more with him and have him mentor me?
That's great. I was just about to suggest having a mentor, and I think Stephen is an excellent choice. I'll look into arranging this. Perfect. So, as we discussed, you met your objectives for this year, which was a great start, but we identified room for improvement to bring you in line with the best-in-class benchmarking data. So we will increase your targets to them and see how you get on in 6 months, if that's all right.
Sounds perfect.
We also need to come up with a plan of action to progress your role from warehouse operative to team leader. You mentioned you would like to help out at the next event, so I'll put your name down, and in addition I'll see if I can get one of your teammates to help you out so that you can start to feel more like part of the team.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
And finally, your third objective is to complete the leadership course and work on integrating yourself more with the team. I'm going to review the schedule and see if I can get you some more time with Stephen, and I'll ask if he'll be willing to mentor you. Maybe in the meantime you could perhaps arrange a team event and get everyone on board. It might help to break the ice a bit.
Consider it done.
How would you feel about running a 360-degree feedback with your teammates as soon as possible so that we have a baseline on how you currently fit? We can then run it again in 6 months' time to check your progress and see how your efforts have made a difference.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Good. I'll organise for that to go out and be completed by the end of next week. Perhaps if we could catch up in 3 months' time just to check your progress, it will give an indication on whether the new targets are achievable, and coincidentally it will be after the charity event we are signing you up for, so that would be a great time to catch up with you on how it went. I'd also just like to email you a copy of the team leader job description. It details the role responsibilities, but in particular I'd like you to look through the competencies required. We can then discuss them in more detail and decide if there's any further training that would help you develop into a team leader.
Thanks, Sarah. That sounds great.
So now that we've come to the end of this appraisal, how do you feel about them? Have I managed to change your mind yet?
Well, I still have to see if you guys follow through with your commitment to my progression, but to be honest, I do feel a bit more motivated. I feel a lot clearer on what's expected of me now and what I need to do to get to where I want to be.
That's great. Before we finish up, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask?
Only one. I understand the bonus is based on targets, so because I exceeded mine, does that mean I'm entitled to it?
That is correct, but we do have a two-tier bonus scheme at Net Porter. So a bonus that is target-driven and another bonus that looks at the bigger picture and uses this data that you've received in this review. You are definitely eligible for the target-driven bonus, but as we're still working on bringing your targets and results up to be the best in class, as well as working on your integration with the team, you haven't quite met the criteria for the additional bonus, unfortunately.
I thought as much, but thank you for your honesty. I'll really work on getting my results up and becoming a team member, so next time you can say yes on both counts.
Lovely, I look forward to it. Well, if you have any more questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Other than that, thank you for your time, Nick. I'll schedule a catch-up session in 3 weeks. See you then.
Thanks, Sarah. Goodbye.
Bye.